Hello students, let's continue our chapter and we continue with civil disobedience. British laws were violated everywhere. Shops selling foreign goods and liquor were picketed, which is picketed means stopped from doing business by protesters blocking their entrances. Government educational institutions, offices and law courts were boycotted. Peasants stopped paying land revenue. So this happened in civil disobedience movement. Peasants, they stopped paying land revenue. The shops were picketed and British laws were violated. In the northwest frontier province, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan and his group of volunteers called Khudai Khidmatgar were servants of God, stopped paying taxes. Khan's commitment to non-violence earned him the title Frontier Gandhi. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan was also a person who was against violence. So even his measures and his adoptions of methods for continuing his protest through non-violence earned him the title the Frontier Gandhi. At its 1931 session held at Karachi, the Congress adopted two resolutions, one on the people's fundamental rights and other on the National Economic Program for India. The economic program included economic planning, land reforms, basic education and industrial developments. So at the Congress session, the people's fundamental rights were taken into consideration and the second part was National Economic Program. So National Economic Program included economic planning, land reforms and such measures. So let's talk about roundtable conferences. Roundtable conferences are conferences held in a meeting hall and the table is usually round and people sit around it and they discuss matters in hand. So that is basically roundtable conference. That is why it is known as so. In the 1930s, the government summoned 3 roundtable conferences to discuss the Simon Commission's recommendations and to make constitutional changes. The Congress boycotted the first one. Gandhiji attended the second one after suspending the civil disobedience movement. He demanded dominion status for India. When the British refused, Gandhiji resumed the civil disobedience movement. The British imprisoned large number of Congress volunteers and leaders, including Gandhiji. Left leaderless, the movement lost direction. So Gandhiji wanted dominion status. Dominion status means self-government. So he joined the Congress session in the second roundtable conference and he asked for the dominion status. British refused and so many leaders were taken into jail and Gandhiji was also captured. So after that, Gandhiji again started civil disobedience movement. In 1932, the British granted separate electorates to the Sikhs, the Christians and the Harijans. Gandhiji went on to fast unto death in protest against the proposal for a separate electorate for Harijans. This resulted in the Pune Pact, under which the Harijans agreed to a joint electorate for all Hindus with a reservation of seats for the Harijans. So Gandhiji fought for Harijans, Gandhiji fought for every clan. Gandhiji was a person who would support all people from all caste, community, creed and he would take actions to make sure that they are given equal rights. The third roundtable conference in 1932 led to the passing of the Government of India Act 1935. The Congress did not attend the conference. So in the third roundtable conference, the Government of India Act was passed in 1935. The civil disobedience movement, having lost direction, was withdrawn in May 1934. Thereafter, Gandhiji devoted himself to the welfare of Harijans. So Gandhiji took matters in his own hand and he started taking measures for the welfare of Harijans. Okay? So let's talk about Government of India Act 1935 now. Let's talk about it in detail. The Government of India Act 1935 increased provincial autonomy by allowing the provincial legislatures to make law on all provincial subjects. However, the governor's discretionary powers were retained. The Congress and the Muslim League decided to participate in the elections to the provincial legislatures in 1937. So provincial autonomy was increased here in the Government of India Act. The Congress also said that it will participate through elections. The legislature was set up and all these measures were taken. The Congress swept the polls in the 1937 elections, forming ministries in 7 of the 11 provinces. The Muslim League lost even in the Muslim majority provinces of Punjab, Sindh and Bengal, where non-Congress ministries were formed. Muhammad Ali Jinnah wanted the Congress to form coalition governments with the Muslim League in all provinces. He also wanted the Congress to recognize the League as the only representative body of all Muslims in India. The Congress rejected these demands. The gap between the League and the Congress thus widened. The League refused to cooperate with the Congress henceforth, and Jinnah gradually became a supporter of the two-nation theory. So basically, Congress won the election in 1937 everywhere, even in the areas where there were Muslim majority. So basically, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was part of the Muslim League, he said that we should form a coalition government. Coalition government means some part of the government would be in control of Congress and other half would be in control of the Muslim League. So Muhammad Ali Jinnah wanted this, but Congress refused because they had majorly won the elections. So what happened to this? Muhammad Ali Jinnah led to the idea of two-nation theory, which means a separate nation for Muslims. A separate nation for Muslims, that was the idea of two-nation theory. And it happened later on in time, and Pakistan was created. The Congress ministries made laws to improve basic education, public health, sanitation and the condition of peasants. They also restored civil liberties. So Congress ministries, they started acting for the welfare of public. They started taking care of the sanitation, education and all these measures to be taken by the government. Let's talk about World War. What was the effect of World War II on India? World War II, 1939 to 1945, and the national movement, how it is all connected. The period between the two world wars from 1919 to 1939, First World War was fought in 1919 up to 1939, saw the emergence of fascism in Italy and Nazism in Germany. So fascism in Italy rose and Nazism in Germany rose. The Congress condemned both for their undemocratic and racist ideas. The Congress pledged to support the British in the event of war against fascism, provided India was first granted independence. Congress was supporting British, even though Britishers were ruling India. Congress was against the idea of fascism and Nazism, so they started supporting Britishers in India. They said, we will participate in the world war in support of Britain if India is granted independence from British. When the Second World War broke out in 1939, the government of India joined the war without consulting the Congress. It also restricted provincial autonomy and civil liberties in India. The provincial Congress ministries resigned in protest. The Muslim League celebrated this event as it ended Congress rule in the provinces. In 1940, at the Muslim League's Lahore session, Muhammad Ali Jinnah announced the formation of Pakistan as the League's goal. So basically, it all ended in a devastation because at Lahore session, Muhammad Ali Jinnah said that we will form Pakistan, and because Congress was getting out of power and losing majority. Quit India movement, 1942. By March 1942, Japan, a fascist country, had occupied large parts of Southeast Asia, including Rangoon in Burma. British law India was hence under the threat of Japanese invasion. So, the Japanese was a fascist nation. Although Congress was against fascism, the Japanese were invading from Burma side. Burma is current day Myanmar. So there was a risk of the capture of northeastern part of India, the Seven Sisters. Gandhiji wanted immediate British withdrawal from India. On 8 August 1942, the Quit India resolution was adopted at the Congress session in Bombay. Gandhiji gave the people the motto of do or die, that is either free India or die in attempt. So at the Congress session in Bombay, Gandhiji said, do or die. Either you gain freedom from British rule or die trying for it. So that was the idea of Gandhiji. On 9th August, members of the Congress Working Committee were arrested and the Congress was banned. The Quit India movement began the next day. So when members of Congress were arrested, the Quit India movement gained momentum. People destroyed symbols of British authority such as rail tracks, post offices, and police stations. They set up parallel governments in various parts of India, as in Bengal, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and Tamil Nadu. 7 young students were shot dead in Patna while trying to hoist the national flag at the Secretariat. See, all these things happened. The movement gained momentum, and people were ready to sacrifice their lives for India. The Congress worked by sending messages through secret radio transmissions. Ram Manohar Lohia, Aruna Asaf Ali, Sucheta Kripalani, and Jayaprakash Narayan were among the leaders who led the movement at this times. So this was basically, remember, Jayaprakash Narayan was a leader from Bihar, right? Anna? Jayaprakash Narayan was one of the leaders between Ram Manohar Lohia, Aruna Asaf Ali, Sucheta Kripalani, and they started transmitting radio signals, and they started communicating. They basically started communicating in order to destroy British rule. Although the movement was suppressed by September 1942, it shook the foundations of the British rule in India. It was in September 1942 the movement was suppressed, but British rule in India was really into a tattered state. In 1943, a severe famine occurred in Bengal, killing nearly 30 lakh people. The British exported food to meet the needs of their army while the Indians starved. At this time, the Kisan Sabhas played an important role in relief work. So, a famine occurred in 1943, but Kisan Sabhas, they took part. Kisan Sabhas, they fed the poor and they fed the hungry. So, this was basically an act of kindness which was led by Kisan Sabha. We will talk about Azad Hind Fauj in our next class. Have a good day, students.